Hi everyone, this is Lala Garcia and I'm here to show you how to do some beautiful flowers with just supplies that you have at home. So what I have here is a toilet paper roll, which I have cut the ends of. You can either use a toilet paper roll or a paper towel roll, whichever one you have available to you. And then you just use the scissors, cut the edges off and open it up to look like flowers. And some green painter's tape I use just to tape my paper on a hard board. And as you can see, I've already done a background here. It's just a light gray, and what I used is a sponge. On one side, I just dipped it in my white paint and I just sponged it all over, added a little bit of black on one corner and blended it into a beautiful gray background. So right now, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna show you how to do the flowers using our paper towel roll, which I dropped over here. Okay, so you make sure that you open it all up like this, and then grab your blue paint and you just dip the edges of it. Try to get it all in there. If you have a wider palette, much better. You can use a plate. What I've been using are just, my takeout containers. You can use either a plate or even wax paper. So once you have it all colored all over, let me just get a little bit more blue on one end. You're gonna use it and you're just gonna turn it as you're applying the paint. Okay, so that's all blue. What you can do as well, using the same toilet paper roll or paper towel roll that you cut up, you can add some white on there and just start to spin it around. See how it looks like a beautiful flower? Okay, other things that you could use if you wanted different kinds of flowers are, these are ear swabs, right? So what I did was I took my tape, painter's tape, I grabbed maybe about, 8 of them, and I just tied them up like this. And the great thing about it is you can also now create some lilacs. You can either do blue, add a little bit of red, dip it in. If you want to make purple. Okay, so we have some purple lilacs. And to give it some more dimension, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip it into a little bit of white, still using the same ear swabs that I put together, and it's blending as it's going on my canvas. So that looks absolutely beautiful. So I really like this. I'm gonna do a few more. Okay, and then what you want to do is you want to make it wider at the bottom, and as you get to the tip of it, it's going to be a little bit more narrow. So now that's blue. I'm going to add a little bit of red to get my purple, and as you dab it on there, it's going to turn purple, and then add a little bit of white there too as well, just to give it some highlights. And you have your lilac. So I'm just going to blend that just a little bit more. So you can work on this as much as you want. It does look really, really cool when it has the different shades on there. Okay, and then another thing that we can do is we can use our Q-tips without taping it together, and in replacement of a brush, and we can just blend that flower to go in. You can even drag a little bit of white in there as well. So you get your light blue all the way to the middle, and you can do that as well for the edges if you want it to come out just a little bit more. I do like the texture that the Q-tips have given it, so I'm just going to do it just a tiny bit. Okay, all the way around. And then in the inside, what I like doing is I like to use a Q-tip and just dab a little bit just to fill that in with white. And there are two very simple flowers. What I'm going to show you now, because these flowers are missing some stems, I'm going to put that down. I'm going to grab another Q-tip, and I'm going to get my blue and my yellow over here, and I'm just going to mix it so I can get a nice green. You can go as dark or as light as you want. It is nice if you have a few different shades of green there as well. And then I'm going to scrape off that excess paint. Okay, so this kind of works as a brush, and it's actually probably even easier because it does a really nice line. Don't worry about making it perfect. This is just something fun to do, a little bit of art therapy while you're home. And I'm just adding some leaves to give it more dimension. You can add a little bit of yellow on there, add some highlights, and just let your Q-tip, I was gonna say paintbrush, flow however way you want. It does look really nice with this texture. And then I'm gonna get the other end and I'm gonna get a darker green just to give it variety so that I have a darker green stem on these lilacs. And then much larger leaves I'm gonna do on here with the dark green. There you go. Another one on this one. There you go. Okay, so those are two types of flowers. And if you do by chance have a paintbrush, I'm gonna show you how to do a rose really, really quickly. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I have a flat brush. It's a large brush, it's a little bit rounded on the end, but that's okay if you have a flat or round. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brush, I'm gonna dip one side of it, as you can see, on red. And then the other side, I'm gonna dip in my white. I'm gonna grab my white over here. So as you can see, only half of it's in red. The other half is gonna be in white. And then I'm just gonna do a quick rose for you. So I have the red on the inside, the white on the other side, and I'm just gonna do little rainbows all the way around, just like that. Make sure that you don't turn your brush and the red stays on the bottom and the white is on the top. And now you're gonna do the next layer, maybe a couple over here, another one in the middle, and now you wanna turn your brush the other way so you have the red at the bottom, and then the white on top. There you go, and it's just a quick little rose that you can do. Very, very simple, okay? That's if you have a brush. If you don't have a brush, you can try to do that with a sponge that has been cut really, really small. I'm gonna show you how to do that as well. So I have my sponge, I'm cutting it with my scissors, and I'm gonna dip one side, let's do a different color. One side on the blue, the other side on the white, and then you just spin it like you're doing little rainbows. Just like that. Just turn it and then do the inside. And you have yourself a pretty good blue rose over there. And then don't forget that you also want to add stems. So I'm taking my little Q-tip back out and I'm getting my green and I'm gonna add some stems for these roses, right? And then you have the leaves coming out here. Over here, another stem. Okay, and if you do have your little brushes all cut up, what you can add is you can get your sponge and you're just gonna dab. Okay, for our background. See how easy that is? And now you have a beautiful flower painting done with whatever you have at home. So again, all I used are Q-tips, sponges, and some paints. And don't forget to tape your Q-tips together to create your beautiful lilacs. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope you create today and get some art therapy going. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.